The following program is brought to you courtesy of a grant provided by the Bank of Princeton.
Good evening, I'm Goldstein and welcome to another edition of Focus On. Tonight our focus is on paying for college, and my guests tonight are Gabrielle Charette, who is the Executive Director of the Higher Education Student Assistance Authority, and André Maglione, who is the Associate Director of Client Services at the Higher Education Assistance Authority. And I'd like to thank you both for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us.
It's great. First, I'd like to give you a background about Gabrielle. In May of 2011, Governor Christie appointed Gabrielle as Executive Director of the Authority. And as Executive Director, she oversees and directs all the managerial, administrative, operational, financial, legal, and governmental affairs of the Authority. In June of 2010, she served as Chief of Staff at the New Jersey Department of Health and Senior Services. And prior to joining the department, she was a partner in the Megna Law Firm and co-founder and owner of Definitive Insurance Management Services, Incorporated, which is a captive insurance management company. Her practice focused on corporate governance issues and insurance regulatory matters. Before entering private practice, Gabrielle had a career in state government that spanned 16 years in various capacities, including serving as counsel to Governor Whitman's Chief of Staff. Following her tenure with the Whitman administration, she joined Montclair State University, where I also worked in the past, where she served as the Director of Governmental Relations to the President Susan Cole. A lifelong resident of New Jersey, Gabrielle earned a Bachelor of Arts degree from Drew University, and she received her Juris Doctorate from Rutgers State University and was admitted to the bar, and also is admitted to the practice of law in the District of Columbia, and she resides locally in Titusville with her husband, William Megna, who is also an attorney.
Yes.
And André has assisted many families, students, and aided administrators in navigating the vast financial aid process, and has served as a financial aid practitioner, working in corporate college operation, and as the corporate director of financial aid, managing multiple college campuses, delivering higher education and financial resources to many needy college students. During his career, André also worked for the U.S. Department of Education, New York regional offices as a federal program reviewer. He audited colleges' compliance to rules and federal regulations, ensuring the integrity of the federal grants and loan programs. And after leaving the U.S. Department of Education, he served their training team for numerous years, delivering timely expert training seminars to financial aid and business office administrative staff nationally. André founded the Eastern Asset Recovery Incorporated and its subsidiary, Default Management Corporation, which is an operation to assist colleges in reducing the delinquency and default rates of their students and colleges. Both very nice backgrounds, and I'm sure they'll help our audience tonight talk about financing your college. And the first question I'd like to ask you is, what types of financial assistance right now are available for parents and students who are starting to think about college and not sure how to pay for it, especially seniors who are anxiously right now awaiting responses to their college applications, and juniors who are on the college tour right now, and they're thinking about where should I go and what can I afford and what can I do. So I was wondering if you could just go over that a little bit.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having us, and thank you for focusing on this important topic for so many students and families in New Jersey. There's a variety of options available to families, and it ranges from need-based grants, academic scholarships, as well as student loans. I think what's really important for people to understand is that they should not be deterred just because they see a sticker price that could be shocking. It doesn't mean that the sticker price of the institution that the student wants to go to is actually the price that the family is going to pay. So there's a lot that goes into that calculation. What they have to do initially is they have to go and they have to fill out the free application for federal student aid, and that will tell them what they are eligible for in terms of grants, scholarships, and loans.
That's the FAFSA, right?
That's the FAFSA.
I remember doing that with my two daughters, and it seemed like it was just onerous, but it's a real important document?
It's very important. It is lengthy. It's the standardized application that's used across the country. There are, at the end of it, 4 additional questions for New Jersey students. However, now that it's online, we really encourage people to use the online application as opposed to the paper form, because the online application has some skip logic in it. So some of the questions you may not have to answer based on your previous answer. For example, if you're a female, you're not going to have to answer the question if you're registered with the Selective Service, because you're not required to. So that does make it a little easier.
Okay, that's good. Now, I know you talked a little bit about sticker shock too, and I know that there's a recent federal mandate that all schools must offer net, price calculators online, stating, starting, I guess, last October. And I guess the question I have is, why was that needed, and what is a net price calculator for everybody out there who may not know what that is?
Well, I guess October 29th was a date that all schools across the country that participate in the Title IV programs, the financial aid programs, really needed to make sure that they communicated to those potential students what the actual price should cost them. Because sometimes, they see a number, and that's not always the number or the price that they need to pay. So they have a wizard. The Department of Education created a wizard for them to to put on their websites, so that families could go out and answer some questions and then find out what the true price is going to be for a student or family in that same situation.
Okay. Talk about applying for funding. When should a person apply for financial aid? When should they start thinking about applying for financial aid? Where do they begin?
Okay, the free application for federal student aid, the FAFSA, will be available after January 1.
Okay.
And I would suggest that families start getting their information together as soon as they start getting their 1099s and their W-2s and all their bank statements end of year. When they are ready to file their taxes or right thereafter, is really a good time. The deadline for first-year applicants is June 1st. However, we really suggest that you do that ahead of time. Don't wait till June 1st. And some of the aid programs, are fixed pots of money, and once they're exhausted, they may not be eligible.
Okay.
And we always urge them to, apply early, because really, the institutional aid that they look for as well could be used up quickly. So, yeah, and they have their own deadlines as well. Not only just the state of New Jersey has a deadline, but the individual college they have certain deadlines as well that they need to meet.
Okay.
So
In applying for a loan, is there anything that would keep a person from qualifying for assistance?
For a federal loan, federal loans are credit-ready loans, and so you just have to not have defaulted previously on a federal loan, and you, if you're eligible, should be able to get a subsidized Stafford loan if your income is within a certain category. And subsidized means that the interest does not accumulate until 6 months after graduation. And then generally there's also another $2,000 unsubsidized loans that students can get. Those are federal loans, very easy to get as long as there's not a prior default. In New Jersey, we have a supplemental fixed rate loan program for those needs that are unmet after all the tuition, grants, and scholarships and federal loans have been applied. The criteria is a little bit more stringent. We do look at credit scores, and we do look at a minimum income of $30,500. At least that's the criteria for this year. And if the student doesn't have that, we would look to the co-borrower to meet that credit criteria and income criteria.
Okay. All good information.
Yes.
I just want to know, what is the most cost-effective way to have your child take out a student loan? Is it easier for parents to take out a Parent Plus loan, or, maybe we could talk about what the Parent Plus loan is, and give an explanation.
Okay, that's great. Really, the Parent Plus loan was designed to pick up the difference at the end. After you've received all your grants and scholarships, your federal grants, your state grants, and if there's still need there, the family can borrow a Parent Plus loan instead of paying out of their pocket. And the Parent Plus loan was designed there to pick up those costs, plus any other incidental costs, like transportation, lunches, room and board, and so forth. So that would help them cover those costs if they didn't plan for it, they didn't have it saved.
Okay.